This is primary fermentation on amber ale. It's the airlock bubbling away from the CO2 that is being released by the yeast, and then that foam layer is called the krausen. It's created by the CO2 bubbling through and the proteins binding together and becoming foam. And then down here, that right there is the yeast flocculating, and it's going into suspension and dropping out of suspension and going back into suspension, and it is multiplying. Down there is becoming the yeast cake, which is the yeast after it drops out of suspension. It sits on the bottom and then bubbles back up to the top. And this is fermenting right at about 70 degrees right now, and it'll sit this way for another at least a week before I go into secondary fermentation, which is where I transfer it from this 6.5 gallon to a 5 gallon glass bottle, and we will leave the yeast cake behind, and then that'll clear it up. So this is an amber ale using California yeast.